upon the talking element of it, and enabling the child to engage with us, talking through what we might do that could inflame them, or what the triggers to their aggression might be, and try to modify their management program, their individual management program, to reflect that, and try not to inflame them, and try to work through and manage any aggression that they might exhibit.
How would you say that your approach is helping young people to address their issues and also to be able to function in society?
It's very difficult to measure that. Many of our youngsters have had appalling life journeys up until the point in time when we meet them. It's very hard to effect a fix in the short time we might see them. But we're very committed to trying to help them and doing our best through a very skilled team and committed people to effect change within that young person. I guess the measure of it is the number of children we see these days is dropping. Our occupancy levels are lower. I guess that could be used as a measure of our success. I like to think so anyway.
The Howard League has said in its report that it believes the Grand Prix system would be unlawful in England and Wales. Now, as somebody whose specialism is human rights of people in care, what is your view of the Grand Prix system?
It's difficult for me to comment on that because it wasn't in place when I took over the management of this centre. All young people have to have some kind of an incentive scheme, an encouragement scheme to adhere to boundaries and guidelines. I don't really have the knowledge to really at this juncture to comment on that. I've not really analysed the Grand Prix system. I'm mainly interested in contemporaneous practice and making sure that everything that happens here is within appropriate standards and guidelines.
But the Howard League does paint a picture of staff at Greenfields being divided into different camps. What would you say to that?
Yes, I understand where they're coming from, but they did come and visit this unit some time back, and I personally feel that my support of this team through good supervision, good training, empowering them to have a view on what we do constantly, having team meetings, encouraging the team to come forward with ideas and views, has changed that to some extent. And I have to say, my social work training would not allow for some contra view to what is necessary and best practice to safely care for these children and keep them absolutely cared for in the safest possible way. I will not tolerate any abuse or oppression of children under any circumstance. So my understanding is that through the training of these staff and showing them that there are appropriate practices in the care of children through my social work training, my social work knowledge, that has brought things forward. And certainly I don't feel the staff team are divided any longer.
Now, one young woman that BBC spoke to earlier this year, she acknowledged that people had probably done something wrong to be at Greenfields, but that they still deserved to live the life of a child, was the way that she put it. What are you doing here to achieve that balance?
Well, I fully subscribe to that myself. I mean, that's just the way I see it. These are children, and as I said earlier, it's care over key. We have an open door policy here. We're very guided by risk assessment in all things, dynamic risk assessment as we refer to it. Our young people that live here are, apart from their liberty and freedom, are afforded all of the things, and sometimes probably a lot better than they might have had prior to coming here. We have a very good recreation facility. The youngsters are encouraged to engage in all aspects of normal living. They contribute to the running of the organisation. They help prepare meals. Alongside us, we just do everything as might be considered as normal as possible, reflecting what a normal family might do, trying to give these youngsters a good experience, a good positive experience with trained adults. And many of them haven't had this up till now.
Michael Bowyer, he's the centre manager at Greenfield, speaking to BBC Jersey's Sarah Scriven. Now, later in the